Hi, I'm Todd Heitkamp, the owner of Dakota Angler here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, with this week's 2-minute fishing report. Well, folks, the dog days of summer definitely has continued this past week, but those that put in their time came away with some nice fish, and yours included. And so, again, it's hard to believe. Yes, it's hard to believe that I actually fished, and then second of all, that I caught fish. But again, it was tough to say the least, and it continues to be tough in many areas across the state. You know, honestly, probably the exception to that has been areas of the Missouri River. But the lakes up in the northeastern part of the state that produced walleyes this past week included Opitz, and remember, you got to sort quite a bit, and then you can only have 2 and over 15 inches. And then other lakes that produced walleyes included Bitter, and that bite has tapered off a little bit, as well as Blue Dog, Hazelton, Lynn, North Rush, Big Stone, and then also Indian Springs, but that bite has definitely slowed up in that location. Down in the southeastern part of the state, lakes like Ponset, Dry Lake by Willow Lake produced some nice walleyes this past week. And then other lakes included Thompson, 81 Ponds, Sinai, Madison, Brant, as well as Island. Now, what have guys been doing to catch those walleyes? A lot of guys have been pulling crankbaits. You cover a lot of water in a short period of time and try to find those active fish. That seemed to be working the best right now. Otherwise, you know, live bait, spinners with crawlers seem to be doing well. And don't forget about leeches. Yeah, the live leeches, the season is over with them, but you can use artificial leeches, and pulling them with spinners have worked well the past week as well. Then as far as the perch bite is concerned, I'd say the best perch bite right now in the state continues to be up at Big Stone. Other lakes included Hazelton as well as Hendricks. Then also Ponset, Dry Lake by Willow Lake, Thompson as well as Madison have produced a few perch. And then some of the bluegills. Now this is a great time of the year to start going after those big bulls. Lakes that produce bluegills included Cochrane, Big Stone, as well as Pickerel. And what have guys been doing to catch those you know, those panfish? A lot of small jigs, and it tipped with waxworms, maggots, as well as green Belgian worms, in other words, smaller worms. And we have a lot of those on hand, and they've been working really well, especially for those bluegills lately this past week. In this week's version of Todd's Tackle Tips, we're going to continue talking about perch fishing. Now, last week we talked about, you know, trolling for perch, to find those active schools of fish. Well, this week we're going to talk about what to do when you find them. Now, based upon the past couple of weeks' reports, some of the best techniques that people have been seeing the most success has been using drop chain lures. Now, what am I talking about, a drop chain lure? Well, I'm using a Haley, a Pilkey, or a Johnson Scout, all spoons that have a drop chain lure that allows that fish, that perch, or crappie, bluegill, you name it, to inhale that hook, whether or not it's tipped it with a waxworm, maggot, small piece of crawler. It allows that bait to be inhaled by the fish. So the drop chain lures have been really lethal the past couple of weeks when it comes to perch fishing, when you find those active schools of fish. Now, there's other types of jigging spoons that you can also use alongside the boat. A lot of you already probably have the Northland Buckshot spoon or a Castmaster. Both of those have worked very well at the same time. However, it seems the drop chain lure seems to be the lure of choice, not only for the fishermen, but for the fish. Now it's time to take a look at a few photos that you sent in to me this past week. And remember, folks, if you'd like your photo included in next week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report, please send it to me. Send it to todd@dakotaangler.com or post it to our Facebook wall. And if I use your photo, your name will be entered into a monthly drawing for a $25 gift certificate. And folks, before we end this week's report, I want to bring a couple of things to your attention. First off, our hot buy this week is on Rapala Shad Wraps. The original Shad Wraps will be $1 off from our regular price of $5.99, which is already lower than most of our competitors. We're going to lower that by $1, $4.99 for all original Shad Wraps, whether or not you're talking about size 4s, size 5s, 6s, or 7s, all family priced at $4.99 this coming week. And so again, you can get that online at dakotaangler.com or here at the store. The second thing, is it too hot to talk about ice fishing? I want to make sure you mark your calendars for the 11th Annual Dakota Angler Ice Institute here at the Sioux Falls Arena, November 8th through the 10th. Make sure you stay up to date on all the latest information concerning the Institute right here on our website or on all our social media feeds. But again, November 8th through the 10th. Well, folks, that's this week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report. For Dakota Angler, I'm the owner, Todd Heitkamp, and as we say around here, fish on! We'll see you next time, and again, thanks for watching.